Ah yes, Lynels. These are probably the hardest enemies in the game to defeat. Some of them are even harder than Ganons. Today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to defeat Lynels, and hopefully at the end of this video, you'll be able to defeat Lynels with ease. Anyways, let's get into it. The first thing I would do is learn how to Flurry Rush. It's very easy to learn, and it can help you with many enemies, not just Lynels. As you can see here, I defeated a Bokoblin with a Flurry Rush. Just remember that you cannot Flurry Rush for bows. So if a Bokoblin is shooting you with a bow or any other enemy, then you have to go head on and defeat them like you normally would. For learning how to Flurry Rush, I'd recommend doing this shrine in Kakariko Village. This shrine basically teaches you parrying, dodging, and Flurry Rushes. It's very useful. Now, if you don't want to do the shrine, I'm going to do my best to teach you, but if it's kind of confusing, I'd recommend searching up another video or just doing the shrine. The first thing to do to learn Flurry Rushing that I'd recommend is going to an NPC, locking onto them to see how the controls work, and just go left, right, back, and forward. After you're used to using the controls, I'd go to the Great Plateau or some easy area to defeat Bokoblins and just try to Flurry Rush. Before you fight an enemy, I'd also save so that if you do mess up and you die, then you can go right back there, right into the fight. Now that you're pretty confident with Flurry Rushing, you can start doing Lynels and other harder enemies. I'm going to break down the fight that you saw at the beginning with that Lynel to see how I did it and how you can easily defeat it as well, and also recommendations for gear and other items. To start out, I would recommend the Barbarian gear, so the Barbarian helm, Barbarian armor, and Barbarian leg wraps. This armor has a massive attack boost, and once you upgrade enough with fairies, it will have a charge attack stamina up. It can be found here, here, and here. Another recommendation is to have lots of food. Last thing I would like to recommend is definitely a fairy. Fairies can help in many ways. It's basically like Mipha's Grace, but it doesn't need a cooldown. This fairy will fly from your pouch and heal all your wounds the moment you lose your last heart. These are very useful for killing Lynels and other enemies because if you do die, then it'll basically revive you. Fairies can be found at all great fairy fountains. I would also recommend strong weapons and gear. If you don't have any, that's fine. It just might take a little longer to defeat Lynels. Now for the actual part of this video. This is where I teach you how to defeat a Lynel and ways to defeat it, which are a little bit easier than you'd expect. Before you fight a Lynel, I'd learn which category it's in. For me, I have 3 categories that I normally separate them in. Number 1 is a sword Lynel, which I'm fighting right now. 2 is a club Lynel. And 3 is a spear Lynel. If I were to rank them, sword Lynels are the easiest to defeat since they're easier to Flurry Rush with. Then it's spear Lynel, and then it's club Lynel. Right now I'm going to focus on sword Lynels, but if you want me to do other 2 categories, I can do that in the future without me rambling about stuff. Lynels usually have 4 attacks. 1 swipe with their sword, 3 swipes with their sword in a row, 1 swipe with their sword dashing, and a dash attack. There are also moves which I like to call the Fire Boom and the Fire Blast. For the 1 slash attack, all you have to do is hold ZL, hold back your left joystick, and press X. That will make you do a backflip move, and if Flurry Rush appears and you go a little bit slower, spam the Y button. This is the exact same thing you have to do for the 3 slash attack as well. For the 1 slash dash attack, it's basically the same thing, you just need a little bit better timing. For the regular dash attack, it's the same thing that you do for the other attacks that I just mentioned, but instead of going down with your joystick, you have to go to the left or the right. For the fire boom attack, I'd recommend running away as far as you can so it doesn't blast you, and before it gets up and starts attacking you, shoot it in the face. That'll make it so you can quickly go into the back and shoot it as soon as it launches you off. This is a very effective move and probably the best move in Lynel fighting. For the fire blast, I just recommend running away. You can use upstream on the fire, but that won't necessarily always work. Sometimes the Lynel will just eventually shoot you, which you don't want. After it's done doing its fire blast, you could also shoot in the face and do the same thing that you did with the fire boom. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and at least learned something that can help fight Lynels. I might do other monsters as well that are hard to defeat. And yeah, thanks for watching and subscribe for more Zelda content. Bye! You